What did George Washington tell his troops?
Welcome back.
What did George Washington tell his troops? What did he say?
March 4th.
My gosh.
It's March 4th.
It's
It's
Emily's
getting worse.
birthday. Do you know it's Emily's
And
birthday?
it's right because she did text out.
No, hold on.
No, you didn't.
thought
Yeah,
Joe and I would forget about your birthday.
No.
But we
This is
we did not.
I know exactly what
We
this is.
did not.
I know exactly.
And thought,
Matthew-
they'll never remember.
You
Oh,
always give Matthew gifts. You never give
I
me any
never
gifts.
get a gift.
So what did
How
Matthew
did
and
the
I
flames?
do?
How did the flames torture thing
Wait.
fit in this bag?
So,
Yeah.
so Joe and I, listen.
I know what this is.
Listen.
I know exactly what this is
Listen.
because you needed it for Coach Greene.
No.
It will be on the show later.
No. Listen, Joe and I,
this.
we said we need to get her something special.
Because she's special.
We're trying to think of what is Emily
I'm
like.
so-
Of course, we know
Because she's
all your
likable.
interests and because
And she's interesting.
right. And so we said, what are some great memories we've made with
She's
him?
memorable.
What's she into? And so we went out. We got you a little something,
Yeah.
couple special little things here.
Come on.
So I want to just
I'm so scared
just
of
feel
this.
free.
Just
I
open
want
it
you to
up.
open up.
You wrote
You
it.
thought
No,
we forgot.
No,
you
I did.
thought
No,
we
I
forgot.
knew you did it. I knew you
You
did
thought
it.
we forgot.
But I'm a little worried that you didn't understand my joke. I've said
No,
that
no,
joke
no,
to
no,
7,000.
yeah, no, I got it. Mark
No,
it.
but you
We've
didn't
been
know.
planning
March
this
4th,
for
yeah.
weeks.
Oh my God.
You guys never get me.
Yeah, so Hugh Freeze bobblehead. I thought there aren't a lot of those around
Not
anymore.
all those left.
So
Yeah.
that
collector's
thing in
item.
20
I
years
was
could be worth a lot of
moving
money.
in
Yeah.
I was moving offices, and Coach Freeze fell off of the thing and broke his
Yeah.
ankles.
So-
So I've been looking for another one
and,
of those.
and then, I know you're all, a little energy.
Give her a
You give me
little energy.
So
I'm
a
so
Cool Mint
tired.
chocolate Cliff
Listen.
bar.
These
are for my hikes
those
with Stan.
vacations
I didn't
You
know.
guys are so sweet.
We are sweet.
It was hard. It was hard to find just the right thing, but I think we nailed it. I think we nailed it.
I thought it
Love
was a Flame Central podcast mug.
No, well, we're out of those.
Yeah.
We need to get
It
more of
would
those.
be.
Need to
I was
get
going
more
to
of
get you.
those.
Happy birthday.
I was
Thank
going to
you,
get
guys.
you a JPL mug, but you're not invited.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, wow. Welcome.
No.
Just another day here at
Happy
Flame Central.
birthday.
Happy birthday.
Thank you, guys. It's a Flame
Very-
Central podcast. It's powered by Alcova
Yes.
Mortgage. Just another day here on the pod. So we have a lot coming at you. Men's basketball. We'll talk about
How old are you, anyways?
old, very old. We'll talk about that. I have a fun. I was on vacation, so I am so
Yes,
sorry that I
yes.
left you guys alone with these two.
Well, it worked out well. We had Coach Bingham on. I know you don't like track, so
I
it
know,
worked out that we were
track
able to
person.
have
You
have
love
Coach
track.
Bingham on the show.
You love
so,
track, and we had Coach Bingham.
So yeah.
okay,
numbers.
some things never
We got
change.
through.
I have a funny story actually from vacation
Let's
that I'll
go.
get to.
Hit it with us.
You want
No,
to go
tease
now?
it. No, give
tease
us
it out.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'll do a little tease.
Yeah.
We're gonna we have Coach Greene on,
Yes.
so we're not gonna be fishing for any compliments or any
yeah,
fishing.
Coach
You
Greene,
got-
big
We're in the
fisherman.
hunt.
Yeah. Okay. More puns coming your way
Yeah.
in just a moment. Spring game was this past Saturday.
Yeah.
It's so funny because they were like back and forth on whether they were going to cancel it, and then boom,
Right.
the most perfect weather
You
of
could
spring
not
in
have-
Lynchburg.
Like, there's no way any of us even thought
was
it's
perfect.
possible to get
Yeah.
a day
Perfect.
that nice that time of year.
It
It's
was
beautiful.
It was perfect. So we have some great storylines coming your way from the gridiron. Xavier Gadlin
At the
performed
Combine.
at the Combine this past week. So we'll have some updates on that and some features coming your way. But first, let's talk a little men's basketball. When you go back to Thursday night's game, shooting the ball well,
Yeah.
looked good, late game, way past my bedtime.
9 o'clock start. Yeah, it was
9
late.
o'clock start.
Yeah.
Just unheard of in the,
Well,
in the
it's
CUSA household.
TV.
Yeah, CBS.
Yeah.
I mean,
So-
big difference from Thursday to Saturday. You go 14
Saturday.
of 28 from 3 against New Mexico State, 7 of 25 against UTEP. And that's
Well,
a
it's
big part of the story.
Turnovers
And
and
the
assists.
Well,
17 turnovers,
Yeah, 17
season
turnovers,
high.
and what
yeah,
was it?
and
against
UTEP
They
is
turned into
known for
23
turning.
points. Yeah.
They lead the nation in forced turnovers.
Yeah.
So
And you
that
hoped
wasn't a surprise.
we would manage that a little bit better than we did. I know Richie McKay certainly, I think, thought that we would handle that for their pressure and
Right.
trapping better than we did. But, I mean, that, along with the length of their guards, which we've talked about all year long, like they absolutely took advantage of the size advantage they had with their guards in particular over some of our smaller guards. And it was tough. They shot 60% in the second half, UTEP did. It was ugly. You don't see many games at home like that. Like Naz and I were talking, like there haven't been a whole lot of games where like we were out of it I think we led like 17 seconds in that game or something like that. Like
You know when you're not interviewing Coach McKay going into half, it's not going to end well.
That's rare.
So
that's rare. So
it is rare.
having said that, Liberty still in 4th place in the league.
Yeah. Yep.
Western Kentucky
Right
lost.
in the mix.
And Flames play at Middle Tennessee Tuesday night, then home against Western Kentucky. If Liberty wins out, according to it, we're giving SIDs a lot of love today.
Yeah.
Esteemed SID Bill Smith, Liberty should have the tiebreaker over Western Kentucky because we went 2-2 against the top 2 teams in the league. Western Kentucky went 1-3.
Okay.
So we went out. We're the 3 seed.
Oh,
So,
that bumps you up to the 3.
That bumps you up to the 3.
wow.
We would pass WKU.
Okay.
So that is very much in play. Now, at the same time, right now we're tied with Middle Tennessee. So a loss to them would hurt quite a bit, and we'd start to fall. So still,
Let's win out.
You can win out, and you're in a
You're in
much better spot than it probably feels like.
Yeah.
You know?
And Western Kentucky doesn't play all week. So I'm just
Right, they're
like
off all
giving
week.
us, more hope. Like sometimes when you like take that
Take
time
that
off,
too long off. Yeah.
kind of, you get
Yeah.
out of your rhythm
So,
and routine.
Got to go on the
so-
road and win, which obviously has not been easy.
A weird thing that Coach McKay was saying after the game on Thursday night, the Flames didn't play 19, I think it was 19 days from their last home game. Like, who else in the country
They had
is going
a lot of time
19
off.
days? Yeah, like a lot
Yeah.
of time away from home, a lot of time off.
Which you hope,
So-
honestly, you worry about, getting out of rhythm. You hope come like tournament time and stuff, you have your legs maybe a little bit more because you got off so much time late in the season. You're always looking for positives. But
Yeah, always looking for positives. But
I mean, the positives are that they've beaten the best top teams in the league. And
Yeah.
so it's not like it can't be done.
No,
Right.
absolutely.
So you got to come up, and Richie and staff and the players. I mean, this isn't a group that you worry about not being focused or dialed in.
oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Right. So I mean,
Right.
maybe they're a little bit undersized. They have to win a certain way.
That's it.
Right. And they have to execute the way to do that. But they've also shown that they can beat the top teams with that recipe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now it's just a matter of executing the recipe when it really counts.
You're right. We always say about great teams, like they just find a way. Like however a game goes, they find a way.
Yeah.
This isn't that team.
Right.
This isn't that.
Right.
This is it. Like you said, you have to win a certain way.
Yes.
But
Yeah, and
if
shots
shots
need
are
to be
going
fall-
down,
yeah, shots are
they
falling.
can win against
Yeah.
anybody in
I mean,
this
but what
league.
team couldn't say that?
Yeah, but this team, the
Like,
way it's built,
right.
like
I totally
especially from the
understand what you're
3-point
saying.
line.
Correct.
You
And
gotta
it's
see
like
them.
what Rich, you could tell in his post-game interview is like, hey, like they're running guys out at us at the 3
Yeah.
and they're long,
Yeah.
right? So now you get on film and you look at different ways in which you can create space to be able to shoot threes, which are going to give you a much more high percentage chance. So it's not like, the more film they get, the more opportunity. It's not like this is, oh man, that we're climbing a mountain we're not going to be able to climb. Right. No, it's like there is a recipe to do this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I mean, you got 6 points from Zach Cleveland.
Yeah, off night for him.
And then 5 turnovers from him after coming off such a great game
Yeah.
on Thursday night. So
I will say this.
having him locked in and like having that, like when he's attacking the rim, that opens up the shot for like a Caden Matheny or
Yeah.
a Kyle Rhodes. So you just have that recipe has to be.
I have
right.
liked the last couple of games. Shiloh Robinson has played well off the
He
bench.
has. He really
And that's,
has.
a veteran, bigger body that you would like to ideally lean on a veteran like that
Yeah.
late in season or conference tournament time. So good that he's playing some better ball as well.
I'm already yawning, and
Oh,
we're only
boy.
a couple
She's
minutes
on
in.
Dominican
This
time.
is- yeah.
She's on that team.
Yeah.
Okay, let's shift gears to the. Okay, wait.
Yeah.
So Thursday night, men on the road.
Tuesday night.
I'm sorry.
Tuesday night.
Tuesday night, men on the road
At Middle Tennessee.
Middle Tennessee. So that'll be
Saturday at
interesting.
home,
Western Kentucky,
Reese's
1 p.m.
birthday party inside.
Reese Yock birthday bash.
Reese birthday bash. 10 kids coming inside. We're gonna tear.
Liberty
Where?
Arena will never be the
It's
same.
Reese's birthday party at the basketball game.
At the
And we're
basketball
bringing all the
game?
kids in, and we're
I wanna hear
we're
ya.
gonna cause trouble.
Yes.
We're gonna get rowdy, and then we're all going to meet Patron afterwards.
Okay, all right.
Meet
Big-
Patron.
Yeah, that's a
Let's get a
perfect day.
talent in.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, Talavera special.
Yeah.
Let's go.
My
So
family-
Flames get the victory.
Yes.
My family was able to come to the game on Saturday night, and shout out to Jesse Stevens for his tickets. So they're sitting like
Oh, they're
courtside,
courtside.
right?
Oh,
So they're
yeah.
sitting courtside, and my nephew is 3.5, and my niece is 17 months. I never know.
Perfect
what that-
age for
Perfect
Yeah.
age for
sporting
courtside
event.
seats.
for courtside. Yeah, I feel bad
them
for
to really
Addie's future
appreciate
boyfriend.
a good courtside seat.
Yeah, okay. So they actually behaved really well. But we go on this run, right? And that midway through the second, and I just see Augie and my mom like walking off the court, and he is just bawling, crying.
He had
and
UTEP in the cover. Yeah. Yeah.
He took UTEP in the over.
Yeah.
So he's just bawling, crying, and then I get like this little low wave like over across court to me, and I'm like, oh my gosh, maybe he's like upset, and he's like, it's so loud, and it's like scaring him, and whatever. He ended up like loving the game so much. Like he wants to work for Liberty basketball. So I'm gonna have to he was obsessed with the game. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, well, your experience is just going down from here, buddy.
You're just gonna have to buy him courtside seats next year.
I don't know. I'm going to have to pray on that one. All right, let's shift gears to the women who were on the road. Obviously, New Mexico State Thursday, and then UTEP on Saturday, riding a season high, right? 5-game winning streak. They were down 12, and then you got Asia Boone coming through with a career high 25 points.
Yeah.
Boone.
She exploded.
Boone.
27 points for the team in the
like
third quarter. Yeah, third quarter they just went off.
So this team, and we'll talk with head coach Carey Green in just a moment, but this team is really impressive. I mean, 80-63 win, just didn't take the foot off the gas. It's been really impressive to see this group of girls like come together after all the adversity that they faced this season.
Can I make my case for, and we'll talk to Coach about this, Bella Smuda, Conference USA Player of the Year? I think everyone just assumes Middle Tennessee, and listen, they're undefeated, so their star, and Anastasia Boldereva from Moscow, Russia. Listen, first off, they're coming in Wednesday. I get a little bit of a Rocky IV vibe in this one. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, oh, they can't be beat. Oh, they're the perfect machine.
You can't win,
Yeah, you can't win.
Rocky.
And then, like, I picture, Bella Smuda climbing Sharp Top and just screaming, Anastasia! You know what I mean? Like
you say the whole name.
Yeah. So that's kind of the way.
He doesn't know it.
Yeah.
Guys, I hate to break it to you,
After the game, Liberty wins, and you're gonna get Asia Boone saying, if I can change and you can change, anyone can change. It's gonna be a beautiful moment. But all that to say, Bella Smuda.
All that to say, I've never seen Rocky.
Oh,
any
my
of them.
gosh.
I've never seen one.
I guess it's better than 20 million killing each other.
That's beautiful.
Oh, yeah, it's
beautiful.
so funny.
I mean,
I have no idea what's
that
going
movie
on.
effectively ended the Cold War. We can agree with that. I think that's just history. But Bella Smuda has been, in my mind, the best player in Conference USA. Not only is she third in scoring, she scores more than Boldereva. She's 2 points more per game, or about the same. 2 rebounds more per game, twice the number of assists. Bella leads, in block shots over 2 a game or a second. Like, she has literally across the board been the better player and in fewer minutes than this Middle Tennessee girl. So I know she'll probably get it because her team's unbeaten or whatever, but if Liberty knocks them off Wednesday night and Bella Smuda finishes the season strong, like, she better at least be split, like getting some of those votes. Right? Not only that, you factor in, we talked to Coach Greene about this, the schedule they played in the non-conference. It's not like she was padding her stats against nobodies. She was going up against top 25 teams all throughout non-conference play. This has been one of the most impressive seasons I can remember in recent memory from a Liberty player. And this might be the best coaching job Carey Green has done in the last 6 or 8 years with all that they've gone through as well.
So development, you got a huge game Wednesday. Let's hear from head coach Carey Green on how they match up with Middle Tennessee. The Lady Flames are hunting for their first ever CUSA title. We had to bring in head coach Carey Green. You like that, coach?
Yeah. Hunting.
Hunting for their first title.
We're competing.
Okay.
Gosh. Oh, just another guy on the show. Just,
correcting Emily. She's used to that.
Just beating me down and not caring about my funny puns and all that.
That was a good pun.
Thank you so Thank you so much, Joe.
I'm here for you now.
So happy to have Coach Green. I can't believe you haven't been on the podcast. It's been a while.
Yeah, a little while. Yeah. But, it's growth for all of us. And, entering into this new conference has been a challenge for everybody. We're really busy. Everybody.
Been very busy. You guys just got back from UTEP, taking down the Lady Miners, and now tied for second in the conference. What has this season been like for not only you, but this team?
Well, it's been a challenge for the team and for coaches too. Even coming in before we started playing the games, we understood we have a young team, really have really 2 players that had starting, well, some of them have had starting minutes, but the starting opportunities. And we knew there's going to take some time for development and growth of the team. And
good thing you had an easy non-conference
I was going to
schedule,
say,
though.
Coach, was there ever a point in that where you're like, maybe this wasn't the year to schedule Texas and Gonzaga?
Yeah.
Because, like, boy, you put them through the ringer, but it sure seems like it paid off once you got to conference play.
Well, there was certainly some regrets, no doubt.
Find a way of putting it, right?
Yeah. I don't think I was very kind to the players, but, it was an opportunity for them to grow and see some major traditions and what we're trying to build and get to. And it certainly was a learning experience. And some of them I didn't quite get. I didn't sign the contract for that particular game.
Yeah, you're not taking the blame for all
not
of it.
all of it, but it was certainly some challenges on the road, and the uncertainty that we had going into the conference too. I thought this would be the challenges that once we get into the conference, we shouldn't be at all against some of our opponents.
Right.
And it's been a process for us.
I remember seeing you at a football game, and you had a couple players go down with injury. You knew they wouldn't be available for this season. I know that's difficult as a coaching staff to come together and kind of regroup on what to do when those injuries happen. But how do you think the team has responded and really come together?
And not even before these seasons, but also you had even in season, you've had season-ending injuries. So you've dealt with a lot.
We've lost 3 players. One before the season, well, actually before she even came here. A young lady out of Iceland, Emma, who had a knee injury. And so she came in unavailable for the entire season. And now it's fun to see her on the court. I think she's going to be an outstanding player in the future. But she is now practicing with us, and she's full go, wearing the brace. But then we lose Ping early. I mean, like second week of practice. And she was going to be, all indications that she'd be a starter. And she had a good freshman year, and we lost her. And then Brooke Moore just recently with a pretty serious leg injury as well. So we've lost those 3 for the entire season. I think like any athlete or any player, hey, I'm sorry, but it's my opportunity. And from a coaching perspective, we still had to develop them as an individual and as a team. And they've responded well. And we're not there yet. We're trying to get more and more consistent. And we have that lack of consistency from quarter to quarter, from game to game, and then from actually possession to another possession sometimes. And we're just, we're getting there. We're developing. We're not a finished product by any means at this point in time, but I just want us to finish strong. And look into the future. Oh, man, the future looks really good, providing none of these injuries reoccur or other injuries. We have a good core coming in, and with the core that we have here, it's going to be exciting times for the future.
Yeah. Coach, in your resume, have you always coached women's basketball, or did you coach men's basketball? I know you've been here a long time. Have you coached men's basketball before that? Yeah,
I started off on the men's side and had an opportunity during an interview. Let's go back 35 years or farther, okay? Even in high school, I was coaching the boys in high school, some girls and boys in high school, but the first collegiate job was at a junior college, Jackson State Community College in Jackson, Tennessee. During an interview, the men's coach was there and with the AD and had an interview for the women's position and left. And 2 days later, they called me back and said, look, we're offering you the job, but it's
on the women's
dual job.
Dual.
So I had to coach both men and women because the men's coach was there and he was filling it out and he wanted to retire. So I was at that point in time, and coaching is a lot of spit, fire, and vinegar, early in your career. Oh, yeah, bring it on.
Yeah, whatever you got. Right?
And, I was the men and women's head coach. I searched the streets for some good assistants, and but yet I was still the bus driver. Didn't give that position up. Didn't give that up.
So that my question then is, when you look at the men's game and you look at the women's game, right? How different are those two games? Is it like from a fundamental standpoint? What is it that is the women's game to you completely different on how you coach it compared to how you would coach the men's game? What separates the women's game and makes it different?
I really think, and I cannot get in the mind of a female athlete, but I've been around a long time. It's all about the game. Show them how to set a screen, how to cross that thing over, shoot the three. And I think that they're challenged to play the game at the highest level. And they're more into the detail. My fingernails, how they look,
Right.
So they want to set a good screen. So they take it a little more serious. And from a teacher or coaching perspective, oh man, that's the student you want right there. Okay, where the guy can just go, I'm just going to dunk on you.
Right. And go one-on-one.
Yeah. I'm gonna
So you
dunk
feel
on
then it's like the more team concept of the unit working together, like it's more cohesive on the women's side. You'd say that?
It's a commitment to the heart. And come on, guys, we just like to do it on our own. And how God has wired women, they're close-knit. You just do not, as we say, you don't want to make mama angry or the angry bear.
Right.
Okay, these young female athletes, they got a little edge over the guys on the emotional part, and it can go both ways. So it can go both ways.
Right.
But
sort of how it is
they're
on this podcast.
tighter.
Yeah. Can I tell you something, Coach Greene? The women aren't allowed. Women aren't allowed in his Yacht Talk pickleball league. Okay, so maybe this is a good start. That women should be allowed, because that's what they're scared of. They're scared of women starting to form teams, and then they're going to slowly come together. And don't make Mama mad, like Coach Greene said, because I'm going to get that paddle. And
Hey, let's get off this topic. Okay. We don't need
Coach,
to.
let's go back to Bella Smuda. The season that she's having.
Smuda Matata.
Yes, we knew.
Oh, what a wonderful.
We saw glimpses, right? You knew the talents there, obviously the size and stuff. But she's playing behind Maya. She wasn't the star. This season, you've had to ask a lot more of her. Did you think, if I had asked you this 3-4 months ago, did you think that she would have the kind of season that she's put together? She's been. We were just talking before. I think she could be, maybe should be Player of the Year. I don't know if she'll get it, but she has a great chance at that.
Matt, I'm obviously a good coach, because I'm going to say, yes, I
Yes,
saw
you saw that coming.
No.
Yeah, right.
No, I did see it coming. I mean, I'm seeing it every day in practice, okay? You're probably seeing 2% of what I see, okay? So we're talking about, there was a battle in practice between Maya and Bella. She has this potential. She's still growing. She's still not physically, but growing in the game, mentally and developing. And she's got an obvious great shooting touch. Yeah. So I'm thrilled to see her blossoming out and really showing what she can do. And she still has some room to develop. But wow, I mean, she has been a major impact on our team, leading the score and rebounding and shot blocking.
You talked about edge. There's nothing better. Like when she blocks a shot, people always say like, oh, it was Bill Russell he'd just tap it to a teammate, right? No. Bella's trying to send it into the third row, and I love that. She lets them know she's angry. It's a violent, but I love that.
Yeah.
I love it.
On the block, she plays angry.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So should she be CUSA Player of the Year?
Her numbers are right there, and she does impacted on the offensive and defensive end. Her name has to be put in the
Oh yeah.
in the list there, and now we're certainly glad that she's wearing a Liberty jersey, and she's helped or been the one factor that's really pushed us along. But I know you're going to bring up some other people. I mean, it's more.
I mean, Asia Boone.
Oh yeah.
That's a freshman of the year. Go ahead. You could have chalked that up a month ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's been incredible.
Yeah, and she's dangerous on both ends too. She's a good defender. I think she leads us in charges, and you see that left hand shooting that three there and helping us out and rebounding. But let me brag on Jordan Hodges.
Yeah.
Now I'm not sure. Last I talked to Paul Carmody, and she's had like 54, almost 60. Assists in the last maybe 8 or 10 games there.
Never leaves the court.
And then only 10 turnovers. And most recently,
Wow, that's great.
she was 14, last 2 games, 14 assists, no turnovers. Wow. In the last game, she was 8 assists, 6 defensive boards. So when you put those numbers together, that's worth 26 points right there. Okay, she's impacting the game, not having a shot taken there. So she's.
Well, and I remember going into the season, right? You had point guard transfer out.
Yep.
And then some of those injuries you talk about. And I remember just looking at the roster going, well, she better be able to handle, because there aren't a whole lot of ball handlers, on that roster. And man, she went from a player that got a few minutes here and there and did some things to she is a legit star guard for you guys that you said she's doing it all.
Yeah.
And that goes to the development too. Credit your staff for taking a player like that and being able to develop them to this point.
Yeah, we had confidence, a high expectation and confidence in her. It's just it's going to take some time. I wished we could have sprinkled angel dust on every one of them, and boom, they're playing there. But the road to success usually comes through a lot of experiences and learning from that, and she's done a wonderful job there. And I know you're probably going to bring up Emma Hess, already.
So that was my next thing. We had
Okay.
Emma Hess on the podcast a little bit earlier this season, and Joe wants to do a shooting contest.
No,
with
I
her.
didn't. That is the complete opposite of that, Coach. I said I'm staying as far away from that thing as I can. They try to talk me, and I'm like, no way.
Yeah.
I mean, I do got the left-hand assassin, but I'm not messing with that girl.
Matt
no
Warner
thanks.
thinks that Emma Hess.
I say she's the best shooter
Best
on this
shooter
campus,
on
bar
campus.
none. Bar none. I think she is.
Bring them on.
Yeah.
We'll put them out there if they think they can take her on.
That would really be a fun segment.
That would be. But see,
So,
here's the thing.
I just don't know who's going to go
right.
against her.
She would do it. But it's who on the guy's side would have the guts to step out there and say, all right, let's just find out. It's like Steph Curry did that thing at the All-Star game.
Right.
Props to him for putting it on the line. There's a lot of guys that I think would want no part of.
And it's not that I don't have confidence in our guys, but I'm just like, man,
Emma's
Emma
a
Hess.
machine. She's a machine.
She may crush the guy's ego.
Yeah, right. That's what I'm saying.
Recover.
Right. That's what I'm
Why
saying.
do you want to even expose yourself?
Send him to
that?
retirement. Yeah.
You mentioned him earlier, so we want to give a shout out. We were giving out a lot of awards. I think the co-CUSA SID of the year has to be the Carmody brothers, because they are just their stats, Joe and Paul Carmody. So I know he's in studio. He kind of got you last minute, flying back from El Paso.
The Carmodies get their tires pumped a lot on the podcast.
I know.
Yeah, they do a
because
great job.
they're
I
always
deserve it.
I want to ask
bringing
you
on
this,
our
Coach.
guests.
We saw the video after your last win. It's your tradition, right? Road win.
I want a
You
Krispy
get
Kreme donut.
Krispy Kreme donuts. And there was some confusion. Some of the new girls,
no
a little bit like, what's going on? What is this?
That was so
and
funny.
you, the girls that were coming back, they knew all about it. First off, are you scoping out Krispy Kremes in all road games? And did you have them there? You had them there when they came off the court.
Do you have a guy?
Do you have someone at
You got a guy.
after the third quarter at halftime? Are you like, okay, make the move? I think it's going to be a Krispy Kreme game. What are the logistics? How does that all work?
Well, I've got assistants, and unfortunately, my wife's probably going to see this podcast.
Yeah.
But I have a GPS. It does help out.
Yeah.
And I was in this particular game. I was paying it forward anyway, so I pulled the trigger and said, "Get them." Okay. And,
Before the game, you had a feeling.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know, it's been a rough season, okay? And you were talking about how tough our schedule was.
Travel and all of it, yeah.
I think this has been the only one we've had all season.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
And we want to make it special.
Right.
You know, we're not just going to give them to you because we love you. You know?
You got to earn the Krispy
You got to
Kreme.
earn them. And, you know, there was always that chance, but we'd already committed to it. And but it was hilarious. I'm holding them, ready to serve them, wanted to celebrate with them, and here comes these rookies in, and they just smiled and high-fived, smiled and walked right by them. Joe, I'm waving right there, right there, right there, right here. I'm putting it in front of them.
Yeah.
And then you saw them U-turn real quick, though.
Yeah.
They came right back, though.
They may not have Krispy Kreme in Iceland, you know, or Claudia probably doesn't get those in Spain, you know, so they don't know.
Okay, so that's
so let me one last thing. You didn't get this, okay? We had 3 dozen. You know, we only got 15 or so in there. So I go through and we hand them all out, and I get another box, you know. And by the time I'm coming back through, there's some of them I've already devoured the first one and getting their second one because their experience was like, this is crack cocaine, man. I'm hooked for life.
You better.
I'm addicted to this. You know,
I
I'm
can
just
say
glad I'm glad we just don't have it here in.
You better see if there's some Krispy Kremes down there in Huntsville. I'll tell you that. Tournament time, you better be looking up. Get Paul on that. Find the Krispy Kreme nearest to Huntsville.
Those Krispy Kreme reward points for sure. But speaking of all, like where you guys are recruiting overseas, Iceland, Spain, Canada, Netherlands, do you need help recruiting?
She wants to go on a recruiting trip.
Just in case you need assistance, you know, on the road. I could be there for you, Coach.
If I say yes, I really mean it, but compliance is going to be fine. So you're still going to be, you're going to get that right there.
What cool spots though? Like
absolutely.
How does that, like, you know, where are you guys targeting those spots, or how do those relationships form?
Well, you know, I've always wanted to go to Blue Lagoon.
Okay. It's fine.
Iceland, okay. No, it's just, it's all about networking and making some connections and looking for the right fit, too, because superstars doesn't mean that they're actually going to fit in here. We want them to fit in, but, you know, it's your need as well. So it's complex, and I think everybody knows that.
Absolutely.
Last thing for me, Wednesday night, Middle Tennessee, unbeaten in conference play, coming into Liberty Arena. First off, everybody needs to be there. We need to pack the house. Right. What's the biggest challenge of facing them? What has made them so good in the league this year?
Yeah, their experience. You know, I'm saying that's where we're lacking, and we needed to develop. You know, I was making an illustration of sprinkling angel dust to give them those experiences. That group has been playing together for almost 2 years.
Wow.
And their leadership they've got on that team, Savannah Wheeler, and they got all the pieces of the puzzle to be successful, and that's the reason they're 16-0. And we certainly respect them. We match up pretty good with them, with our size inside. They just have some experience, and but we're playing at home. So if we get the fans, and
give them that first loss.
You know, we'll give our best shot at them, and we do match up. We're excited to have them here. I thought we played decent at their place, but their experience and their transition up and down the floor was things that hurt us at that point in time.
All right, let's pack it out.
Coach, last one from me. We talked about all the adversity from this season. What makes you most proud of this team and this group?
They're close, and we have some great leadership on the team. And you know, there's so many times there's like one or two that just don't feel like they fit. But all these girls, they fit together. They're close together. Probably the closest, and they're fun. And I can't overpass like one of them, Ping, accepted Christ.
Yes, I saw the video.
And we were able to baptize her, and not only the entire team, but our administration and our practice guys were there, Joe.
Yeah, that's awesome.
You know, they're there and they're screaming, and so that's an eternal victory right there. So to see the closeness of this team and how they just minister and serve each other is makes it fun, even when we're going through these tough developmental stages and games and stuff like that. So I just love this team, and they love each other.
Coach, my vested interest, obviously, in the women's program, you know this, right? That my sister-in-law, Jeannie Stinnett, was on the very first women's basketball team to go to the NCAA tournament from Liberty. And I mean, I remember that game, and it was in the late 90s, like yesterday. Jeannie hit 5 3-pointers in the Big South Championship game, and then they're all fired up. They come in as the 16th seed to go play the #1 team in the nation, Old Dominion, and we're gonna slay Goliath, right? That was ugly. That one didn't go as planned. Yeah, it didn't go as planned. But no, it was so much fun following that team, and then watching the program just get better and better throughout the years. It's been fun to watch.
Well, I think I can say this, the women's basketball program and other programs here, they reach out, they touch your heart.
Yeah.
And they play with their heart, and it's a right way to do it. It's a lot of fun.
Well, Coach, thanks so much for your time. It's been awesome to see how this team has grown this season and how you've been there to develop them on and off the court.
Get that win Wednesday.
Yeah. Win Wednesday. Be out there, Flames Nation, to support these young women. All right. Thanks, Coach.
Whoa, Coach.
Wait.
Act like you have a mug.
We have no mugs.
Act like
We
you
have
a
no
mug.
mugs.
There's one.
I went on vacation, Coach, to the Dominican Republic, and I was drinking out of my Flame Central podcast.
No mugs. Hold up your hand. Hold up your hand right here, Coach, like you're holding a mug, and say Flame Central Podcast, powered by Alcova Mortgage.
Right here,
Give it
Coach.
to him.
Right there. Yeah, right down right
Alcova.
Yeah. Flame Central Podcast, powered.
Flames Central Podcast, powered by Alcova
Mortgage.
Bam!
We'll superimpose the mug in there.
Bam!
Yeah, we're out of mugs. Yeah, thanks, Coach.
Awesome. Thanks, Coach.
I love Coach Greene. I mean, even though he
He
didn't
said
like
he's your favorite guy on campus.
Whatever. Hey,
You say that about every guest
you're
we
my
have.
favorite guy on campus.
Yeah, this week.
Dot, you're the best. You're my favorite.
Yeah.
No,
Coach Jackson, I
do want to go fishing with Coach Greene.
He would take you.
I know.
He'll take you.
I really
He'll
want to go
definitely take
fishing
you.
with Coach Greene. So maybe once he gets through this crazy
Yeah,
season.
let him get
but
through this season.
Flames Nation, show up
Wednesday.
on Wednesday night against Middle Tennessee. Going to
We
be a
need ya.
huge game. Really excited to see how these women finish out the season.
Listen, like you hope, Liberty's going to end up seeing Middle Tennessee, down the line in the tournament, right? If things play out, maybe you end up facing the championship. To have a win under your belt against them in the regular season,
Right.
and that confidence boost that it can be done, we can do it. Like that's going to be
That's
huge.
huge. Yeah.
So Wednesday is a big night for them.
And I love how Coach continues. There's still so much development. So imagine like what this team could be if they're playing their
Hopefully
best
Bella
basketball.
sticks around for next year as well. She's got one more year, and they could be good for a while.
And we have a pretty good production team around here, I like to think.
Do you?
So maybe if they do get this win, we could do a reenactment recap with your Rocky scene.
4?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. We'll see.
That'd
That'd
be
be
good.
That would be good.
We'll see how it works out. Hey, let's talk some football.
Let's talk
Joe.
football.
It's so weird that spring football is
Done.
over.
It's over.
But I mean, I kind of like it because it gets you focused all in on the March Madness. For our football expert, I now bring in Yacht
It's Yacht Talk.
Yacht Talk. You were there. You were right there on the field.
Yeah, I was right there shooting the radio show there with Alan York.
Yeah.
We had all kinds of guests on. Mike Hagan from the Flames Club. Robert Goodman was
wow,
on.
you pulled some big
We
names.
went after all the and then we had Jamie Chadwell.
Yeah.
Ian
Wow.
McCaw.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, we pulled them out. It was great. Chadwell was.
I never got a call for a request for an interview request in that. Did you, Matt?
No.
These are the biddies that people.
Coach Chadwell had two. He had great because he had his headsets on that he's calling, talking to all the coaches
While
with.
he was talking to you.
So he had the headsets on. He's calling, and so he comes over and he's got the headset. Coach, you got to put this other headset. He took that headset off, puts this headset on, and then we'd be in mid question, and the play would be going on, and he'd be like, take that headset off, and he put the other headset back on, and he was like, decline that penalty.
Yeah.
We're going to decline the penalty. And he's yelling, then he'd take that off, and then he'd come back to us. It was great. We had all the
That sounds like a lot of chemistry.
It was it was good. No, it was really good. We just rolled with it. We just rolled with it. No, but it was it was really good to go out to practice, and it's spring games are tough because they're playing much, they're doing all these different scenarios and whatnot, and it's they weren't really. The ones never tackled, right? So you didn't see that. But to go out to practice a couple days before that was really good. And what I noticed, and I think what the things that stood out to me, what you're going to see, is more team speed.
Oh wow.
Defensively.
Yeah.
And some of these kids that they've brought in now, and then some of the young ones that have been here that are beginning to get their shot. Like remember last year, who's going to play this position?
Right.
Like all those pieces are coming together, and you just see a much more defensively, a much more aggressive football team.
Yeah.
And so you'll be proud of me. I mean, I took some notes.
Wow.
Like that's pretty big for me, right?
Well,
for the first time ever on the Flame Central
It's usually locked
podcast.
all up in the steel trap.
It's leaking a little. The
steel trap's getting a little older, right? All these grays on the side of my head right here.
Jason has a couple bolts.
They're starting to leak. But Eldrick Griffin, number 2, the JUCO transfer safety. And that kid can play. Yeah. He's got good coverage. He can come down tackle. He's rangy. Really, he really stood out. And then the transfer corner, Dominique Hill from Temple.
Oh, okay.
Like he is a long. Like what I said earlier. Hey, you got to get a little bit longer defensively. Like some of the guys are like to have that to play at the high level, to have a longer, rangy corner, and that's what he is. The outside linebacker had Jamar Brown, transfer from South Carolina. He played for him at Coastal, played a season at Coastal, and he's strong. He's a lean guy. I mean, and he can run sideline to sideline. Taylor Jackson is another guy, linebacker from ECU. I mean, that dude, he's
he had almost like 50 tackles.
Yeah, and he's an in between the tackles, sort of hard-nosed run stopper kind of guy. So he's a really good football player. And then Aiden Vaughn, the transfer linebacker from Wisconsin, he stood out. And then you look at the spring game, and there's a list of guys here. On the offensive side of the football, the Ryan Berger kid, the quarterback from App State quarterback. Obviously this is Caden's team and his job, and he's going to roll with it. But feel very, very confident when you watch him that if, Lord forbid, if anything was to happen to Caden, this kid can play.
Okay.
I mean, not only can he sit in the pocket and throw the football, he can run.
Yeah,
he can run. So and then the Jaden Bradford, the young quarterback came in from IMG. Yeah. Obviously he's got development and everything, but he's a ton of potential there. And then the kid that really stood out was the Mobley.
Oh, the receiver.
The receiver. They hit him. Caden hit him for a bomb on the very first play of the scrimmage. So when you started looking, then I had the opportunity after practice to talk to Willie Korn a little bit.
Yeah.
And what he shared with me, I thought was very insightful and very good for Flame's program, is he said, we went into last year and we weren't sure until the end there. And I asked him, like, did you guys know it was going to be Caden, pretty early on, and you sort of held it, or was it last second? He said, no, it was last second, and we decided to make the decision to go with Caden instead of Jonathan Bennett. And obviously a very good decision. But he said Caden was very hungry last year to learn the system and become a good quarterback.
Yeah.
Naturally, after all the accolades that he got, is it, we can stay on the Rocky theme, is it the Rocky 3 theme where does he still have the eye of the tiger?
Does Paulie have a
robot
now?
Does Paulie have a robot now? Are living in a mansion, right? All that kind of stuff. And he came, Willie, went out of his way to say to me, like, hey, he is become hungrier to become a great quarterback. And so then when you sat there and watched him practice, and some of the balls that he threw into tight windows, like you can tell that he's locked in, he's focused. The guy that really stood out to me, who I think if he can stay healthy and look great, is Trayon Sibley. I think Trayon Sibley has a chance. Good. They need, and Jamie said this on the radio, they need to find, they got some speed downfield. Yeah. There's some speed there downfield. But what they need, they lost Noah Frith.
Right.
They lost C.J. Daniels, right? So what they need is that taller, longer, range.
Physical.
Sibley's a short, physical guy, but he's playing really well. But I think what they're going to end up doing is try to go into the transfer portal, potentially when it opens up, and look for that longer, rangy guy.
Then
you get 50-50 ball.
The Dante Lee kid, he didn't play in the spring game, right? So I know he's got some speed on the outside as well.
Well, and then the other thing, too, is you get back Reese Smith.
Right.
So Reese Smith actually went through individual drills for the first time.
Yeah.
The transfer from West Virginia. And so with him, coming back in the mix, it's like there's some dudes, right, that are fast and can move. They're just that losing that size with Noah Frith and then CJ's. That's the one area.
Sibley was a little banged up at the end of last year too.
He was,
right?
But he's looked really good. So
I think the other thing too, and we always forget about, like on the defensive side, is they went through all spring and then had staff changes on the defensive
100%.
side. And so,
that's right, with
they were
Jack
having to
Curtis.
kind of almost reteach some things, and guys in different roles in terms of like the staff in the fall after going through an entire spring. So for Coach Krantz, Coach McGee, and those guys, like I would imagine just having so much more continuity, now it can be like, okay, now you know what you're supposed to know.
Yeah.
Now we can start to expand and kind of go beyond that.
Yeah, 100%. And I think this is where you're going to see a big difference. I sat down last year and watched in the middle of the season and, spent a couple hours watching film with Coach Krantz.
Yeah.
And I was like, at the end of it, I was like, Coach, you guys really aren't doing a lot defensively. He's like, no, we don't want to do a lot right now. We just want to be really good at what we're asking them to do.
Yeah.
And which was, a philosophy, especially when you have an offense that can score a ton of points.
Yeah, right.
And they were creating turnovers. They were getting interceptions, so they were doing well, right? But what you're seeing now when you watch them, it's like this adding on of what they were doing, but yet the players' minds are still free. They got speed to the football. I mean, I watched 7-on-7. I bet they had four or five picks in a 7-on-7, which is defensively is a lot. Yeah. And so you're just seeing that you can see the level of aggressiveness, the level of confidence beginning to rise up on the defensive side of the football, which is very exciting.
A little birdie said that this team could be better than last year's team.
Yeah.
Well, and you know what?
They're going to be much better defensively, I'll tell you that
And
right
you know
now.
what?
Yeah.
That doesn't necessarily mean 13-0. Right? But as you're saying, it may be more athletic and they may be better in some areas. But at least you're going to give yourself a chance to complete, and you will be the heavy
And they're
favorite
doing that, and I was watching without Brian Greene. I mean, Brian Greene, they're just trying to hold him, and they're just trying to hold him back. I mean, he doesn't need the reps.
Right.
And so they can put a good product out on the field.
Well, Chad Scott and the strength staff, it is your time to shine.
now that it's time to
they're
take
going to
over.
spend the summer getting bigger and stronger. Maybe we'll be able to get in the film room with Willie Korn.
That'd be fun.
And do
That'd be
some,
fun.
or
Yeah.
Caden Salter.
Do some stuff with them.
We'll try to get that going. Track-wise, we have a great story coming your way. Brennan Pitcher. He's 800 mid-distance runner.
You're going to want to see this.
It's really cool.
This is the one. This is the one where he came back at the very end to win the conference championship, and we were following him the entire week leading up to the event.
You
Yeah.
could have played
And
any better.
So
Yeah.
this is
We
you're
kinda
gonna
know what
enjoy
we're doing
watching.
here.
You're gonna
Yeah.
enjoy watching
You
this.
guys did a great job.
Also,
of that. Proud of you.
the crowd was wanting it, or the audience
Yeah.
was demanding it,
What were they
and you
asking
got
for?
it. The Players Lounge.
One more player. Well, maybe one more. This week,
At least one more Players
the
Lounge.
super senior edition, Kyle Rhodes, Shiloh Robinson, both on the Players Lounge.
This should be interesting with Shiloh.
Yes, I have gotten confirmation. I told Richie McKay, I said, listen, if you guys win the conference tournament, we will be doing a Players Lounge at the NCAA tournament.
No doubt.
And he
Oh
said,
my
if we
gosh.
make the NCAA tournament,
you
you
do
do
whatever
whatever you want.
Yeah.
So we're hoping for that one too. But yes, last of the regular season.
Also, back on the gridiron, Xavier Gadlin at the Combine.
Yeah.
Of course, he's wearing his half shirt. Got the belly going.
yeah.
Always.
You know?
It's trademarked.
It's a beautiful sight.
Yeah.
So, regardless, great for him to get invited to the Combine. I don't know exactly his numbers, but seems like he had a pretty good showing. And it's just getting Liberty's name out there. So that's the biggest.
He's a versatile
and
guy.
best.
Hopefully somebody likes that versatility and gets a look.
And big personality.
That's for
so, I don't know if they might start having band. Somebody might draft him, and then they get a band in the stands of that
You
team.
draft him
and
if you have doing any commercials,
Yeah.
anything like that. Good actor.
You'll be set. So, funny story coming from the Dominican Republic.
Yes.
Oh, here it is.
There we go.
We got
I get-
teased earlier. Everybody,
Yeah.
everybody's been
Is waiting for
on
this.
the podcast
Yeah.
for this story.
Yeah.
Give
So
it to us.
we did like a catamaran cruise to this Sanoa Island, okay?
As one
And
does.
as we're about to leave, I see something on my hand, and then I'm like, oh my gosh, I just got stung. And I've been stung by things in the past. Like remember when from the lake, the shed story when I got attacked by the hornets or whatever,
Yes,
yellow
yes,
jackets.
yes.
Well, I just think, oh, ow. Like I definitely got stung, but I'm fine. The next day, my hand is a little swollen. The next day, you can't see any of my knuckles.
It's like Andre the
my
Giant hand all of a sudden.
My
Yeah.
hand
Yeah.
was twice the size. My ring is not able to come off, so I'm getting Vaseline to get my ring off. And a lot of times, which I will do this in the future, you wear a fake Amazon ring to vacation and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Well, we're at the beach when my ring's not able to come off, and I put it in an extra plastic gum container, and I'm like, Jason, whatever you do, do not throw away the
No, he
extra
didn't.
gum container.
No.
So next thing you know, we're going and looking in every trash can for my
Oh.
I'm just kidding.
Oh,
I'm just kidding.
I was like-
I wish you saw Matt's face.
That
No,
wouldn't surprise me.
He
No.
did.
Yeah, would not surprise me
Did
at
he
all.
throw it away?
He did not throw it away.
Oh.
Got the ring. My
Yeah.
hand finally came back to normal, but you should see the pictures. Like I looked like a Miss Piggy.
Well,
a Miss Piggy hand.
Let's get some of those on social media.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
I want
no,
hand
it was
pictures.
pretty embarrassing.
Yeah.
So
I want you running down the beach with the giant hands.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I do have a funny picture that
Yeah.
Matt put together that I have to show. So I send the picture to Matt and Joe of me on the beach with
Yes.
where is it? With the Flame Central podcast. They were making
mug.
fun of me. It's with something. Oh man, where is it? Stand by. And Matt, I mean, he clearly had a very, very busy day.
Not much going on
at
Friday
work.
afternoon or whatever day it was, Monday.
Oh man,
It
where
would
is
be
it,
this
Matt?
one right here.
Oh, Joe's got
okay.
Yeah, there you go.
So they always make fun of me, right? For Jason and I running down the beach.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
Matt,
Look at that.
I mean, what do you do at work all day?
Look
Am
at
I the
that.
only one who works
Look
around
at
here?
That lovely couple. They're so happy.
Oh my gosh. It was a
Oh
great
my
trip
You know
though.
what?
My ring
Listen,
fits again. That's
I
all that
have to
matters.
get good at that because here's what happens.
Yes.
I get
Yeah.
on
The
a
idea.
Tuesday morning,
Yeah.
Joe Yock just calls me up and I'm like, oh, what's going on, Joe? What's everything all right? Hey, any chance you could do a quick Photoshop for me for the pickleball group chat?
Yeah.
I'm like, oh yeah, sure, okay, yeah, I guess. I mean, I don't have anything
Leave
else.
it to-
Yeah.
leave it to
So
Joe.
I had to get quick.
We were home for
Yeah.
a rain dance, so we did
Yeah,
a little,
yeah.
little
Yeah.
Indian
The other
rain
thing
dance,
I want
yeah.
to share is,
Yeah,
can I share
but
the other
between-
text I got from you the other day?
Yeah, between those calls, you get text messages
I
like
get,
this.
I get text from Joe. Just, working, doing my thing. I just get a text from Joe. All it says is, just bought a flamethrower. That's it. Like, But you know what? It doesn't. Some people I'd be like, what?
What?
With Joe, it's like,
Oh,
thumbs up,
no,
emoji,
no.
like, let's keep going. Yes, yeah,
No
right.
Monday.
Yeah.
So we're in the office, and
Yeah.
we're hanging out, and right, and all of a sudden my assistant Zach's across the hall from me, and he looks at me and he goes, "You know what?" I said, "What's that, Z?" He says, "We need a flamethrower." And I was like,
Is anyone working around
I
here?
was like, that's genius. And so we start doing research on
Yeah.
flamethrowers and all these different
It's
ones. And I
actually
said,
not that bad.
I want a gasoline only, right? Not mixture. Just give me
yeah.
straight unleaded, right? Fill it gasoline
yeah.
only. And we get on the World Wide Web.
Yeah.
And this bad boy that we got, 25 feet of pure flame throwing action. And it's now, guess what it's called?
What?
The Liberty Flamethrower,
Liberty
baby.
Flamethrower.
And now we maybe Alcova Mortgage does a little NIL deal,
yeah,
something like that. And we're gonna burn down high closing costs.
Oh,
High interest rates.
Yeah,
They're
yeah,
geting
done.
smoked. They're done.
Done.
Which
So,
there's
hey,
a deal for Liberty employees
Yes,
and
right.
for
Thank you.
let me ask this, Joe.
Yeah.
You've been a guy that hasn't been afraid to have a shtick or two
Yeah, you
over
gotta
the
have a
years,
shtick.
right? Maybe you have the green
Everybody's gotta have a
pants.
good shtick,
Maybe you
yeah.
have the big chat.
Yes, the big check's
Do
still
you
around, yeah.
think you could work it in where maybe somebody does a deal with you, you might let them shoot the flamethrower?
100%.
If they're a friend of Liberty.
Yeah, Friend of Liberty Pro, you get to hit the flamethrower. I mean, this thing is awesome. I mean, now, don't get me wrong. You do have to have a water hose handy at all times.
It's smart.
Yeah. It's smart.
Alcova.com/Liberty.
Yes.
Up to 5,000. I mean, all he cares about is his flamethrower
Yeah.
Oh, I'm
now.
so excited.
But there-
Oh, listen to this. Listen to this. Listen to this. You'll love this. I go to practice.
Yeah.
And I'm talking to Dirk
He's like,
afterwards, right? I'm talking to Dirk afterwards, and Jamie comes over, and he's like, "Hey, Joe, how you doing?" I said, "Doing good, Jamie." First thing I say, "Hey, Jamie, guess what?" He goes, "I got a flamethrower." He's like, "No way." And I'm like, "Yeah, like it shoots big time flames." He goes, "Hey, we might be able to use that thing."
Just think about it.
Recruiting visits. So hey, we're all on the same page around
Yeah.
here.
No,
we're all on the same
Post-game
page.
celebration,
Post-
Joe comes rolling out with the flamethrower.
Joe Yock just burned the locker room.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
my gosh.
Yeah,
Don't
no.
even say that.
It's gonna be Jamie's
No,
excited.
see, I thought the coaching staff was on my side because we had the
No.
Jason and I had the 360 camera,
No.
and now they're like,
You've been a
360.
one-up.
Joe's gonna come and burn down the
Yeah.
360
Yeah.
camera and be like
Yeah.
the new guy. He
It's
just
gonna
always
be
has
awesome.
to one up someone.
It's gonna be awesome.
All right, thanks so much for listening or watching to
Yeah.
this edition of the Flame Central podcast, powered by Alcova Mortgage.
I have one last thing.
Yes.
Next week,
Next
the
week.
plan
Ooh.
is right now.
Give us a plan.
Joe, you can be part of this.
Oh.
If you decide to show up this time.
Yeah.
I think what we're going to try to do is have Naz on First thing, because we leave for the tournament Monday afternoon.
Yeah.
So we'll have Naz on. We'll do a basketball tournament preview Monday morning.
That'll be great.
So that'll be a lot of fun.
So we'll get that out your way next Monday. If you're around Lynchburg this weekend, be sure to go out and support the Flames baseball hosting ECU for a series. Hopefully that weather clears up.
When does the basketball tournament start? Wednesday?
Tuesday.
Tuesday?
Is the first round, the 8-9 game. So hopefully for Liberty wins.
And then next Saturday's game, men's basketball, Liberty Arena, our last game that we're all calling at home together. Senior Day. Come out and support this.
Yacht party.
Everybody's going to be there.
1 p.m. tip.
Early.
So, a little matinee
That's right.
for the fam. So thanks so much for listening and watching. For Joe and Matt, I'm Emily. We'll see you next week.